Hello, welcome back to the ESL Pro League North American Division. And we're at the moment having a look at NRG and Complexity. We've just seen Complexity pull off a pretty nice win on Nuke. Now heading on to our second map, Cobblestone. I think they're probably sitting in a pretty good position here.
Yeah, probably. I mean, especially mentally. Their first half, I believe, was an 11-4, and then admittedly they lost a few rounds following that one into the next half. But they managed to recover, and they managed to win that one, I think, something like a 16-8. So it was a nice map out of them, and they do have all the momentum here, both mentally and in terms of rounds won, because they've had the last streak. So the question will be for them is, well, it'll be if they can come into this Cobblestone map and if they can get the pistol round. I mean, they've been good in their pistol rounds. If they can get that and continue with that and get started off rolling, because they seem to be a pretty momentum-based side. Like, once they start, they're pretty hard to slow down.
Well, let's have a quick look before we get into the game at how things have been going today. Having a look at our schedule. Earlier on today, we did see on this stream, Optic picking up 2 wins over Selfless. On the other side of the broadcast, we did see Cloud9 picking up 2 wins early on in their piece, and then it seems like things are going pretty well for SK2. So nothing too surprising coming out of today just yet. Complexity with a good win just previously, 16-7 over NRG, and we are now just waiting on the second map to be ready here between these two teams.
Absolutely. So it'll be good to see how this one goes. I mean, we said coming into this map that we thought it was, or into this matchup before we started the last map, that we thought it was going to be pretty 50-50, that these teams would be pretty evenly matched.
Yep.
How do you feel about that, given what we've seen on Nuke?
Yeah, well, look, I think maybe it's probably fair enough, given the fact that NRG have had a lot of roster changes, Complexity not quite as many, that maybe Complexity coming into this one with a bit of an advantage. They did look a little bit better drilled as a team there on Nuke, so, I think given that performance that we've seen on Nuke from them, probably heading into Cobblestone, I'm going to give them the edge on that one as well.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. I think it's the same. We saw good trade fragging, good movement as a team, and just nice team plays in general, really. It wasn't so much one star player carrying them through. It was a lot of consistently even fragging, which was nice to see. So I think if they can continue that on Cobblestone, then this should go their way as well.
Yeah, and definitely I think the great thing about this Complexity lineup as well is that they're all kind of firing at once. So if, maybe someone, let's say, for example, Def doesn't fire this round, we've got Android X, we've got Uber, we've got Desi, we saw them all fragging. Even Surreal was getting involved at times with the AWP. He probably, for me, was the quietest one of that Complexity lineup. I felt like the Riflets were probably doing a little bit more work. On the side of NRG, I think it was the other way around. I think Peter was probably the most impressive, but even then, he wasn't getting so much done, and I think we need to see a little bit more from almost everyone on that NRG lineup.
Absolutely. I mean, you mentioned Peter. He did have quite a few very good rounds there. In particular, the one I would highlight would be the round where he was in hell on CT, looking out towards that T-Raft position. Yeah, he had his AWP, and he got 2 kills before the T side even knew what was coming their way, and then eventually managed to get, I think, 2 AWP shots to finish off Surreal from memory, in the end, the leg, and then the finish. So he did certainly have some nice rounds, some nice picks with the AWP, but I think out of him, we're going to need to see some more consistency. And Cobblestone is definitely a map that is friendly to AWP play, so we'll have to see if he can step up.
Yeah, definitely. Complexity, they didn't have the greatest of runs in Season 4. They came in 11th in the standings with like a 9-17 sort of a win-loss record. So they're definitely wanting, I suppose, to improve upon that setting. They started off quite nicely today. If they can continue this form throughout, maybe take a round or a map or two off some of the top tier teams, then potentially we might see them improving on that result.
Absolutely, and that's, of course, going to be the goal for them. And it's worth noting that I believe they played against Liquid or someone in... Oh, no, they played relegation best of 3, yes.
Yeah, it was Liquid, I'm pretty sure.
To get in here. And they've had good results against Liquid, against some other good NA teams as well. So they're definitely not a team that we expect to see lose everything. It's just they're also a team who are looking to prove that they deserve to be here.
I think there's a lot of teams like that in the North American Pro League. I mean, we've obviously seen some of the Aussie teams go over there. They've had some pretty good performances last season. I think they're going to be trying to improve upon that. Specifically, Winterfox, they've brought in a new player. That's something, I guess, that we'll talk about later on when we do get into matches with Winterfox involved in them. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how that roster goes with their new player.
Of course. And the Australian lineups, of course, we're interested in seeing as Australians. But it's interesting to see all of these teams who are looking to prove themselves. Because, of course, in this league, you've got your very well-established teams. Of course, over in Europe, you've got a lot of big orbs coming through. In North America, we've got our, our Cloud9s and our Team Liquids and our Optics, like the big organizations with the big teams who you expect to do well. But you've also got, one team for me who is definitely a new team coming into here would be Rush. They're a team of newer players who I think are relatively newly banded together, and they're coming in here looking to stamp their mark, I guess, in this league.
Definitely going to be interesting to see how the rest of this league, this entire season really turns out, because there are a lot of question marks over a lot of the teams. Not necessarily question marks, but we're not so sure where we're going to place them just yet, so we're going to get a bit of a better idea as to how things are going to be going. But unfortunately, for the moment, I think we're going to have to head back to a break. Looks like this game is, a few minutes still from getting underway, so we'll jump back on the music and be back as soon as possible.
Hey Future Pros, Train is the game and we have a slick smoke to cover CT connector. This smoke is great for pushing that pesky AWPer off position, and coupled with 1 or 2 more smokes you have a great outside execute. To master this, hop up on this dumpster and nestle yourself between these 2 crates. Once done so, aim just to the right of the corner of this building and let the smoke fly. Train ain't easy, but hopefully you can find some success with this top tip.
I can't understand people watching somebody play a computer game.
It's still not a sport.
It shouldn't be on a sports network.
But I don't know if athlete is the right word.
Alrighty guys, and welcome back. It's NRG and Complexity on map 2 into the pistol round. Just in time to catch all of the action. Looks like Desi, there we're back. Desi is going to have a look in towards mid there and does spot out Peter. There's Complexity on the T side, making their way up through in towards the A-bomb side, but actually backing out now and deciding to rotate off.
Yeah, Def will take that that engagement with Peter and will find that kill, but here goes Fugly on the flank, going down through danger, trying to catch out the Ts if at all he can. A little bit of damage done in position given away, but nothing else yet. Nice shot from Marky though. Wait for Def to walk into his sights, and now Fugly, pressure on him, not going to find the kill. Came close, but not going to be able to do it, which means it's a 3-on-4 here. Marky again engaging the Ts from behind, but not able to get the kill, which means 4-on-2. Breezy has to get this done, finds one, will not find the second, which means Daps, last player remaining. That was a bit of a chaotic pistol round as frags going all over the place in every direction, but we finish out in a 1-on-3.
It did feel like Complexity had a bit of a better handle on it, though. You could always see there was kind of an NRG player got isolated. There was a couple of Complexity players there to deal with it. There was always 2v1s, or almost always 2v1s in the favor of Complexity. And generally speaking, in that kind of a situation, you will always win the duel. Now it's just Daps finding himself in a 1 versus 3. I mean, there's no reason not to go for this with Clutch, but, well, I mean, maybe if he wants to save his kit through to the next round, but I think that's a little bit far-fetched.
I mean, I'd like to see him get in there and try and use that kit, but still trying to clear out. He knows a lot of his teammates were killed from behind. He's trying to watch clear every single corner that he can. He's going to get peeked anyway. Android, again, sharp with the USP on the pistol round, managing to steal one away from the CTs and use that to good effect, which means Complexity continuing their round-winning ways from the last map will start out winning the first pistol.
Certainly will, and obviously a good start into the second map here for Complexity. They keep that momentum going, and they'll be able to buy into this one. It looks like, from what I'm seeing, the CTs are going to be buying some pistols there, but nothing too major just yet. No armor or anything like that. They do have a grenade on Fugly, but really I don't think that's going to be doing all that much damage. Complexity with pretty much full armor across the board. Yeah, they do have full armor across the board. So NRG, I suspect, going to be relying on the aim. Peter's boosted up in a nice spot here, but generally speaking, it's rarely common. Fairly common, sorry. And he should be cleaned up quite easily as he is.
Ooh. Marky not being spotted out somehow. Mill managed to escape with actually 2 kills there. That's way more than he should get in this situation. Looking for more, will eventually get shut down, but wasn't spotted in the corner of the bottom of danger there. I think he was hidden behind that smoke, and the T's were not expecting someone to be there without having moved before that time. But now it's a 3-on-3 here. Fugly is down on 8 HP, and there's been no guns managed to be picked up by the CT side yet. But Uber's going to jump straight into Daps, and okay, Uber
Probably should have found the kill there.
pulls out his gun once he lands from the jump and finds the headshot onto Daps. That was unfortunate for Daps. He does heavy damage. Uber on 11 HP, but not able to secure that kill, which means now it's going to be Complexity. Looking like they're going to go over towards this B side, and there's nobody there for the CTs to stop them.
Yeah, that's the best possible situation, really, isn't it, for Complexity? They will get the bomb down for free. 42 seconds to get that one down, but they're going to figure out, obviously, pretty quickly that the B bomb site is pretty much uncontested here by NRG. They will get the bomb down. They've got lots of utilities as well. A couple of smoke, well, 3 smokes and 2 Molotovs as well. So it's just going to be even easier for Complexity, and there's probably no troubles for them to close this round out. I mean, they don't want to lose any more guns from here on out. I think that's the key takeaway, really, for Complexity.
Yeah, of course not. Although I do like from Complexity that even though they do have a man advantage, they have the gun advantage, and they know that, they still take it slowly. They use their utility like they should, clear out the angles, get in there, and take their time getting onto the site so that they can actually get the bomb down safely and know that the CTs aren't anywhere near. They could have just rushed in there and been killed by potentially a CT in a blind corner if there was one, but they took their time, they played it properly, which is nice to see, and really nothing more to do in this round for NRG. I mean, Breezy's managed to save himself a UMP, but that's all he's going to get away with. There's not going to be any more kills here as he's all the way in T-spawn. The Terrorist's going to have to run an awful long way away from this bomb site to engage with him, and they're going to find Fugly first anyway.
I mean, in reality, a UMP is probably not the weapon that he would have wanted to find if he was going to find anything. He would have been looking for an AK, ideally, but wasn't the case. A UMP is better than nothing, I suppose, but heading into this round, NRG, again, going to be a little bit poor on the economy, so probably more likely we're just going to see some pistols coming out from them than anything else. Complexity aware of it. They've decided to go for a couple of MAC-10s, Desi and Def, picking those ones up. Bit of
toss being played with that UMP, throwing it between a couple of players, but they've ended up giving it to Peter, which I like because as their AWPer, he's going to need that extra cash to be able to buy that thing. So giving him the SMG, getting a chance to farm some money. I mean, of course, any of his teammates could use it and drop for him, but yeah, giving him the money to do it directly is a nice touch, I think. But only pistols, no head armor to speak of. These MAC-10s on Desi and Def can potentially just have a field day here on these CTs.
Oh, Fugly's going to be a crucial player here, pushing through the smoke. He's going to catch 2 off guard. Only able to find 1 kill there. Uber trading him out. Fugly and Breezy actually going down there quite easily for Uber. He didn't even really lose all that much HP, and overall, it's a nice looking round here for Complexity, only losing 1 gun so far, and Uber is just on a tear. He's picked up 3 kills this round. I think he's looking for more. He wants to get that extra cash with the SMG. Surreal will go down to Peter. That's a Daps even. Well. But yeah, as you say, an AK picked up. That's not too bad. Uber's probably going to find this kill onto Daps. All he has to do is spray through the smoke, but in the end he backs out. Looks like he's not too willing to take the risky play. And in the end, Complexity will probably win this round quite easily.
Oh, Daps, please get a knife kill. Please get a knife kill, Daps.
Oh, he's surely got this.
He's so blind. These guys have no idea he's behind him. Desi might turn around. No, 4-3! Gets the knife. And that's going to be 2 AKs saved if they can stay alive here on NRG.
That's huge.
Is never something that should. And he'll get the kill into Def as well.
So.
Daps, a gun and a knife kill. So much money. So much gain there from NRG. They lost the round, but they just won the financial game.
Yeah, I think they essentially lost the war but won the battle. I don't know, lost the battle, won the war. Whatever way you want to say it. They have definitely come out of that round better than they probably would have expected, and Complexity have definitely come out of that one worse than they would have expected. So that's turned things a little bit on their heads, but really, it doesn't matter unless NRG can capitalize upon it. They need to win this round.
Of course. I mean, it's always nice to have things go your way post-round, or after the bomb's gone down, you can't defuse it, but at some point, you do need to actually get a round win on the board, and that is certainly the case for NRG here. Looks like you do have 3 players stacked over towards this B site, though, which is where the T's are going. There's 3 players here. The bomb is here. This could just be, of course, their default. It's a very common default on Cobblestone to play over towards B first, have the bomb over there, and then a couple of other players spread out to try and find some picks. We'll have to see if they do end up committing here, but if they do, NRG are going to be ready for it. The majority of their team now, 4 players over on this side of the map. Marquis playing in the bottom of drop, has a lot of grenades coming his way, but this first peek is going to be so important here. He actually spots ahead of Android jumping, not going to fire yet, still playing around the smoke. We'll get the first kill. Not going to find Def though, but that's a nice shot to start off with for Marquis. Going to fall back and help his teammates now, but early damage done.
Yeah, certainly. I'm surprised actually Android didn't spot him out there or something like that. Maybe the smoke perhaps obscuring his vision just a little bit, but in the end, it is, as you mentioned, a pick for NRG. And 4 versus 5 Complexity now have a bit of work to do. It should be an early rotate across here for NRG. They've already got 1 player hanging around in connector, so that's a quick rotate. They've actually got 3 players on the bomb site here. Complexity really in a difficult position here. Mark can find a second one for this round. Desi at least able to trade out Fugly, but across the board, this looking pretty good here for NRG. An easy kill in the end for Breezy. The angle not checked by Desi. It was just Def even left alive here for Complexity.
In a 1-on-3 as well. The bomb is down. He's got to go and get that thing. He's actually looking for the first kill here. Breezy trying to contest. Will go down. Def's got himself the first kill, but 13 seconds. He's got to get the bomb. He's got to put it down. He actually has a chance here. 9 seconds has to go down. Now he's getting pushed by Daps. Will he plant the bomb in time? Just going to get it down, but Daps around the corner will take him out. And almost a chance there for Def, I believed, but unfortunately time constraints, had to plant the bomb and got taken down immediately after doing so. So there's a round for NRG, finally.
Yes, still a reasonable amount of cash on Complexity here, but I'd be surprised if they risked a full buy. Looks like it's just going to be the Tech 9 armor on a couple of those players. Desi probably saving a little bit more than the rest of his crew, but of course NRG sitting pretty happy with a full buy coming into this one. So potential for 3-2 here at the end of that one, but Complexity should be able to get a buy into the next round. Obviously getting that bomb down last round did help their economy just a little bit. If they get another one down this round, that would be obviously perfect for them.
Yeah, that's obviously what they're going for here. They've got themselves some pistols, a little bit of armor, some smoke, and some flashes. This is they're just trying to force their way out into a bomb site under cover of all of that utility. But they're going to be running into a blender no matter which way they go. There is a lot of rifles ready for them on this NRG side, and Breezy actually could be caught out here looking the wrong way. He gets flashed out. We'll get the first kill, and the second actually gets taken down by Surreal. While fully blind there from Breezy as well. That was nice work from him, but the bomb being planted inside the smoke looks like what Complexity wanted in this round is being achieved. There we go. The bomb is down. That is the goal here. They are being shut down pretty quickly after that. There's Def running away, not looking anywhere towards the action, and Fugly pulls out his pistol, takes his time, calm as you please, taps him out. So in the end there, a triple kill for Fugly, but Complexity did get the bomb down, which is going to give them a nice little boost to their economy in this next round.
Yep, bit of extra cash. Can't complain about that one. Probably would have liked to have seen maybe one more kill there for Complexity. But as you said, they got their mission accomplished essentially, and they will be able to buy pretty well into this one. So should be seeing another nice gun round coming out here. And Complexity, you know, they probably want to fight back into this one. They started off the map pretty well, but NRG have started to bite back at them, and we'll need to see Complexity pull ahead once again if they're going to have a fairly similar result as to what they did last map.
I do like this pick from Peter here towards long. He throws his Molotov and then throws a flash, so he can peek over the Molotov. Molotovs are hard to see over when you scoped in with an AWP. He's just trying to mess with the vision of any T-AWPer who was holding the angle there. There was no one there for him, but it was a nice peek and a good idea, I think, and I'm sure he can catch him eventually. Now, Marquis, down in this drop position again. He's played here once already, and a dropping Android will headshot him. That's not the same outcome we had last time, and there's an attempt from Def to get the next kill. Def's here actually being pressured already. Android pushing him, and will find the kill, but he'll get the...
Not much he could do about that Molotov.
Post-mortal, posthumous is the word I'm looking for, kill with the molly, which means now we're in a 3-on-3 here. The bomb is moving back over towards that A site, and we do have Desi already looking to move up towards A long by himself, and the CTs are actually rotating over to B. They've bought this, at least for now. Fugly moving back into the connector. Will he go towards drop, or will he move back towards A? It looks like Fugly has not bought it. He's going to be moving through here, but he's going to have 3 players in his face. Now the smoke has gone across the doors. There's the Molotov to deny the murder hole. He now knows that this is going to be an A hit. He's calling his teammates. They're on the rotate. That spray through the smoke. Not going to land, though. Bomb going to be in on the site and going down now with 32 seconds remaining by the looks. There it is. which means now it's a 3-on-3 retake. The Ts have a little bit of time here to get into post-plant positions, but the CTs are knocking on their doors already.
Yeah, great thing for complexity, though, is that they do have a bit of extra HP to play with on this one. So unless they get caught out by the AWP, they should, in theory, have the advantage. Although Breezy and Fugly are just going to storm in towards the bomb side. It's all down to Uber. He's given away his position, and I thought he could maybe just hold on to that shot for a little bit longer, and he might be able to clutch something out. But in the end, it is going to be NRG pulling that one away. We're back to a 3-3 now. After a very good start for complexity, NRG have really just brought it back.
Yeah, the double pick turning out to be too much to deal with there, which means, as you said, 3-on-3. Difference is now we're not going to stay at a tight scoreline for very long, as this should be a really quick round out of NRG to clean this one up. Worth pointing out as well that the top fraggers on both teams are both on 6 kills. Peter having a bit of a rougher start at this one, down on 0, 1, and 3, but when he gets that AWP into his hands and is able to get some kills with it, as he had it last round, but no one went his way. Couldn't get anything done. This round, though, looks like it might be a chance for him. He could actually flank mid here, provided, of course, that Daps doesn't just get all the kills and steal all his fun.
Yeah, pistol armor, though, here for complexity, so they do have some sort of a way into this round. If they can get a little bit lucky, maybe catch a couple of those NRG players off guard, get a gun, then there's a chance for them. Obviously, it is a slim one, especially given the fact that they've lost so much HP already. Android down to 21, which is not too great for him. But NRG, as of yet, haven't been able to pick up a kill, and that's the important thing for complexity.
Yeah, complexity still looking to stay alive in this one. Actually swapping out some pistols there. Getting a Tech 9 onto Android, I believe. He's in lower HP, so an understandable swap. But here is Fugly sitting right on this one. They're actually boosting over the smoke. If he goes around this corner, he could be caught completely off guard by this position from Desi. But of course, when the smoke it's actually a run boost! I didn't see that one coming, but it's not worked out for them. Unfortunately, the rifle's now cleaning up. There's Def actually getting 2 Deagle kills. That's a nice way to get back into it. But a 2-on-3, rifles on deck. NRG are here ready. That spray is actually very close there from Breezy, but Mucky moving into the open, looking to finish up these 2 remaining complexity players. They are very, very close to him. That grenade going to be off target, thrown over towards long, where they are no longer. But, whoa, okay, Def, nice shot onto Mucky. Def just looking to do this all himself, has all 3 kills for his team so far in this round.
Well, potential here for him to get the ace, but only 25 seconds left to work with in complexity.
Angle from Breezy.
There's no way really that they can cross this safely unless Surreal picks up the kill. What is going on? Complexity looking good to maybe close this one out. Surreal does go down, but Def does have an M4 in his hands. 10 seconds left to work with. He should get the bomb down if he hightails it over towards the site, and yeah, he's got that in time, but Peter's probably going to wrap around the back here and cleans up the kill in the end just in time. But complexity, they did make a pretty good run of that round, and they've hurt the economy a little bit of NRG. The rebuy is going to come out. So if they can win this one, then they're going to be right back into things.
What an effort from Def, though. 3 Deagle kills for him, and then Surreal somehow getting a P250 headshot through the door. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but he does it, and the 1v1 will be won by NRG, but complexity perhaps getting way more done than they should have on only a pistol round up against a full buy. But now it's full buys out of both teams, full rifles and AWPs for everyone. Lots of utility. This is just going to be an all-out brawl here.
Definitely is. Waiting for complexity to push in, though. NRG have got a pretty good setup for it. 4 over towards the B bomb side, only 1 towards A, so they've read the situation pretty well if complexity do indeed actually make their way in this direction. As of yet, though, complexity held off by the smoke and the utilities from NRG. Not too keen to push in there too aggressively.
Not just yet. Surreal boosted up here on the side, looking around with that LWP, trying to catch out somebody peeking around the boxes or stairs. There's going to be no one there for him to find just yet, though. Speaking of boosted, though, Fugly up on the tree box, waiting for these Ts to come in. Maybe playing a bit of a crossfire bait and switch setup with Marky. But for now, he's actually going to have 2 angles to look at here. If he'd thrown that Molotov, that would have been very nice. Would have landed right at the feet of those boosting Ts, but not going to throw it. Speaking of Molotovs, there's one out into connectors to deny that under window Taz position. But Marquis still playing close to this drop, and it's all going to come down to who gets the first kill here, really. And Breezy considering making an early issue of it. There's a flashbang in, pushes up. This peak's going to be so close that they haven't spotted his shoulder. I think he goes for it, but will get taken down instantly by the AWP of Surreal. Peter, though, doing one better with the AWPing, finds himself 2 kills, potentially going to repeat for more. The bomb is down, isolated way up the end of B long, and the CT's dropping T's back and forth now. Only Surreal remaining. Android did get 1 before being traded out, but Peter picking up the 3K with the AWP, takes out Surreal, and that's 5-3 now for NRG.
Yeah, NRG starting to look really good here on Cobblestone. Complexity, as we said, started off well, given that they picked up the pistol round, but so far NRG have just been walking all over them once the gun rounds have started, and we need to see Complexity step up here and fight back with some rounds, otherwise they're in danger of really starting to let this half go.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if they can do that one here. Complexity do have a bit of a buy into this one. I mean, Desi stuck down on that Tech 9. He's going to be entering fast through drop by looks of this. Actually, I'm not sure if Mark spotted him there or not. And Desi gets the kill too. Fugly busy trying to do what he can, backing away from that Tech 9 for now. But Desi going to be able to pick up the AK of Marquis as well, which means he's now equally as equipped as his teammates. But Fugly going to drop Uber. There's Desi to clean it up, and Breezy gets double picked. That's better coordination out of Complexity. It was a bit 1-by-1 at the start there, but they clean it up, start getting the coordinated picks in, although Daps taps out. Desi gets taken out by Def. Now Peter playing out in the connector, orping in through the doors, trying to do what he can. I mean, he still holds the cross to the bomb site right now, but he's just given that up, which means now the bomb can go down. And that's not going to be a good situation for him. Had he held that, could have maybe prevented the bomb plant, but of course he had to be worried about his flanks coming in through drop. He's still got to clear all these close angles and then find 3 kills, and Android, I think, is going to put paid to him.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much that he can do here, realistically. I think it's probably the correct decision just to save this gun.
Ooh. This could be very close, actually. Android moving in here. I think he spotted him out, going for the spray. And so much damage done. We'll eventually take him down, and we'll be able to get through and steal that AWP as well if he wants it. There we go. We'll grab that one. Can throw that thing now over to Surreal, who is their team's AWPer. Just waiting on that to... There we go. They're going to swap guns. Surreal's going to have himself an AWP. And just like that, the economy from NRG is really not great here. Complexity back in this.
Yeah, obviously Complexity have been doing a fair bit of damage on their own eco round, so NRG haven't really built up the economy just yet. As soon as they lose a round, they're going to be back on the pistol buy, so that's a pretty good result really for Complexity. Their hard work in those pistol rounds, in those eco rounds, has started to pay off here, and now they should be able to find themselves a free round win here if everything goes to plan. Def starting off nicely onto Peter. Daps is going to be taken down by Desi, but there's a couple of quick kills in response for NRG, and that can't really happen for Complexity.
And Breezy there has himself an AK now. I thought he was going to push through that smoke for now. He's just waiting it out towards A long, but he has got himself that bigger gun, which means that if he can get over to this B side where the T's are going and help his teammates out, he can potentially make an impact. The issue for him, though, is going to be, it looks like he could even just be saving that thing at this point. He's got to get over there really now, before the bomb goes down, the T's get too much time to set up, because it's not going to be an easy retake. Even if he has an AK, as he has no armor, aim punch is going to be a massive issue for him. And his teammates in their pistols are not going to be able to help him too much. And there's actually no one on this B site. They're just now boosting Fugly up into drop. He'll be able to grab himself an AK as well. So that's a nice, a good little trade there. They don't have B site control, but they do have a second AK, but they've lost Marquis, which means now it's the AKs of Breezy and Fugly to try and do this one up against 3 from Complexity.
Yeah, but again, do you even go for the retake here? They don't have a great economy. I think it is the correct decision once more, just to save those AKs, and it looks like what they're doing is going to be backing out towards the CT, or towards the T-spawn even, and trying to hang on to the AKs. Complexity not too keen to hunt this one down. Their own economy is not looking that crash hot just yet, but these 2 extra rounds on the board is certainly going to help.
Absolutely. I mean, any round is a good round, and they'll be happy with these AKs being saved. Of course, the money is going to be good for them. They just got completely shut out, though. Admittedly, it was an eco round, so getting shut out isn't too much of an issue. And this is a good outcome for them to come away from this with 2 AK-47s. But that said, Complexity have just tied this back up. We're back at 5-5. And all of a sudden, despite NRG coming back into this, getting themselves a bit of a lead, we've got a game on our hands here, Offish Guy.
Yep, definitely. 5-5 at the moment, really hanging in the balance. Complexity, are they going to be able to push through this one, or is it going to be NRG to pick up the map win, bring it back to a 1-1 overall? Hard to say at the moment. It's really hard to kind of pick the difference between these two teams. I think they're both performing equally. It's going to be who's got that little bit of extra oomph that's going to be able to push them through.
Despite what we saw on Nuke, which was definitely Complexity outperforming NRG, that could well have just been a Nuke thing, as Nuke is one of those maps that's more recent in the pool. There's not as many strats, I suppose. There's not as much experience for these teams on it yet, and they're trying to do what they can, but coL is already looking more evenly matched, and while I'm saying that, Daps finds himself to Peter gets a couple kills as well, and now Surreal, the only one left. It looks like NRG are not happy with not having the lead. They want that back, and they've instantly tried to capitalize on it, and this push from Fugly is so smart. He knows exactly where that player is and will take him down.
Double AWP set up.
That's the double AWP, as you say. The double AWP out for NRG now. Those are going to be on, I assume, Fugly might keep it. He might throw it over to a teammate, but definitely Peter will have one of them. Looks like Dab's going to be picking that thing up, and Fugly will get himself another rifle. So this double AWP setup, on coL especially, it can work very, very well, because you can realistically do an AWP on long A and AWP on B, long B, and then rifles in mid and in drop, and you've pretty much got the entire map locked down as long as your AWPers can hit their shots. I mean, of course, that'll depend on how NRG decide to do it. Looks like they're still doing their standard stack towards B, but Peter getting aggressive into B long will take down Desi very early.
Complexity, once again, just sort of falling apart here on the T side. They did go for a bit of a force buy, and they certainly would have wanted a little bit more out of this round than the one kill that they've already gotten here. They need to get something more. Android is going to walk into the spray of Fugly. Not going to deal too much damage, but Surreal is going to go down. Peter as well is going to find another one, and this is looking like another excellent defense from NRG, only losing one gun in that one. Complexity need to go back to the drawing board, and perhaps they need to draw on it all round long because they are just going to be on a pistol round here. Bit of time to talk about what they're going to do to figure out how to break this double AWP setup that NRG now have.
Because it's been so effective for them as well. The defense from NRG has been very strong. Speaking of NRG, we have Fugly sitting on top of the scoreboard, 12-5. The rest of his teammates all on 9 kills with the exception of Breezy, who's on 8. That just tells the story of how consistent and how good this NRG side have been playing. I mean, all of their players, with the exception of one, within 1 kill of each other. It just shows the consistency and the strength and how well they're playing together as a unit right now. We'll have to see if they can continue this, but for now, 2-round lead, surely going to extend to 3 here. Only pistols, no armor for the Complexity side. These rifles on NRG, and to a lesser extent, perhaps a double AWP should just mop up.
You would think so, but stranger things have happened. Complexity definitely potential to win this round. It would be disastrous, really, for NRG if that were to be the case, because it would put Complexity back into a good position in this first half, where at the moment they're kind of in a little bit of a difficult position. You know, they could lose the rest of this half and be down 10-5, which would obviously be not too great, but still a lot of things to come here. Still plenty of rounds to work with for both of these teams, and this is working out quite nicely, all things considered, really, for NRG. So again, just losing that single gun. They'll be feeling pretty happy with how things are going here. 8-5. If they can take this to 9, I think they'll be pretty pleased with themselves.
Absolutely, but as it is, they've already won out this half. They've got themselves the majority of the rounds on the board. And sure, to go to an 8-7 from when you've had a lead like this would be a bit disappointing for them, but no matter what, they've secured themselves the victory in this half at least. And of course, they were looking to extend that to more. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if they do based on how well they've been playing on the CT side at the moment. Although, Complexity are coming at them with a buy now. Admittedly, there's not as much utility on the board, but I think Uber's just dropped his AK for some reason, but there we go, pick that thing back up. Not as much utility on the board, but they've still got a chance to get in here. And if they can get in and just start out-aiming NRG like they were doing a bit on Nuke, then there's a chance for them. But Marquis, he's been pretty good in this drop position so far. He's been here pretty consistently. He's got Fugly out in the Taz spot to back him up. If they just decide to flood down drop here, the T's, they could be completely shut down. Yeah,
I'm not really sure. I'm a huge fan of Complexity, again, going towards the drop. They've tried it quite a lot throughout this first half, and it's very rarely been working out for them. Surreal is going to go down in the meanwhile to Peter, but more importantly, focusing in on that drop position, Complexity have actually picked up or managed to put 2 people in that direction. Finally, an aim duel goes the way of Complexity. Desi picking that one up, immediately traded out though, so really not too bad at all for NRG for now.
Absolutely, a very good start for them in this round. And Marquis still playing in the bottom of this connector here, looking to get done what he can. The T's are going to go into this B site now. It seems they've been pretty committed to this B side here, this Complexity T side, but Daps holding the correct angle, looking towards drops. He's already got people out to his right, but Breezy trying to deal with them. We'll get at least one. Daps picking up the trade and a nice flick on the last kill as well, dropping Android 9-5. NRG looking strong on their CT side here.
Certainly are. 9-5, as you say, and well, that potential 10-5 is very, very much looking like it's going to be a reality here for NRG. Just going up against the pistols and the SMG of Surreal, but Complexity's buy coming into this final round of the half is obviously not ideal.
Yeah, and they're going against a very full buy again. I mean, I think we've seen this double AWP in effect for NRG for 3 or 4, maybe 5 rounds in a row here now. They've had it for a while, and it's been very, very effective for them. But finally, we're getting a good old B rush. Complexity moving quickly, trying to get out there and do the damage early on. A lot of spray coming through, actually, but Complexity will come out in the better end with that now. 2 AWPs and an AK left to do this one. A boost up on a tree boost. Marquis looks like he suspects it coming. He's going to be backing away for now, just avoiding flashbangs, dancing around, trying desperately to find another kill if he can. All right, completely through the smoke. Takes out Desi. Now it's a 3-on-3, and Marquis still here, being a massive nuisance while his teammates rotate in with the AWPs.
Oh, again. Oh, I thought it was Marquis, but it was Peter. In the end, would have been a pretty sick shot. But regardless, the kill is the kill for NRG, and that's what they need. Daps going to be able to find Uber and also able to find Surreal there. So, at the end of the first half, NRG looking pretty good here.
It's a bit beaten, I guess. It's beaten down on Nuke, but on coBel, they've had a much better half here. As you can see, starting 10-5 on their CT side. They now take the T. We go into this pistol round here. NRG are going to be looking to take this one and continue their advantage, really, over Complexity. It looks like it's going to be a relatively quick B play here.
making their way towards the drop, and as of yet haven't really contested it just yet, but it definitely feels like that's the area that they want to go to. Android is not going to have a great time with the USP in close quarters like that. He's just decided he wants to back out. The Glock's a little bit more powerful, but in the end, he does get taken down by Daps, and across the board, we're seeing a lot of NRG players pop up on that scoreboard. All that kill feed even. It looks pretty good for them here in the pistol round.
Breezy just tagging him through the door with the Glock spray. Surreal knows he's there now and he's not particularly happy about it, but a lot of work to do, a 1-on-3. He knows there's one player close, he knows it has to be one on site, but he probably has no idea where Peter is, and that's a nice shot onto Breezy. 1 down, 2 to go here for Surreal. Going to need a 4K to round out this round. Still a player on the side who's now shooting at him, spins around. He's convinced this other player is in drop, and unfortunately, he's going to be incorrect. Will get taken down from behind, but a very nice pistol round there out of NRG.
Yeah, certainly was. And, well, it's exactly what Complexity didn't need. They needed to find that pistol round. They've decided actually to force buy into this one, so a bit of a risk. They had a few rounds to play with, but they've decided they want to get the ball rolling here and now, if at all. And so it's an important one here for Complexity to pull off this anti-eco, or this eco, I suppose, really, for them. What am I saying? This force buy for them.
There we go.
As they could, if they lose this one, really start to put themselves in a bit of a hole.
Absolutely, but they've got themselves some armor and pistols to work with here. They've got, you know, a couple CZs, a couple 5.7s to try and make this one possible, but Breezy, already boosted up, is so ready for this peek from Uber. He's waiting for it. He is going to miss the shot, but does the initial damage and knows there's at least one player over there. Now Desi trying to peek out into B long, capitalize on one of these players if at all he can. Peeks out in the open, actually wide peeks into Daps and Breezy, and will go down for his troubles, which means already Complexity doing a little bit of early damage, but they've lost a player. Uber's on half HP. It's really not looking good for them here.
Nope, definitely not. Complexity pretty much needed to find the first frag. That's how you kind of get your way back into a round like this. You find the first frag, you get a gun, you make use of that gun, and slowly but surely these little things start to add up, but that's definitely not what has happened here for Complexity. It's been the exact opposite. NRG have just slowly but surely been picking them apart one by one, and now only 3 players for Complexity left alive in this round. What can Android do with the 5.7 at close range? Not enough. Uber, though, trying to make something of it. Still not going to be probably all that much really for Complexity in that round. They only got a couple of kills, and NRG quite content with how that one has gone.
Absolutely, and NRG are also powering their way towards taking out this map here. They're already 12-5. They need just 4 more to finish it. This round should be a pretty easy one for them, as we shouldn't see too much of a buy out of the CTs. So realistically, we're looking at them being at 13-5 when the first gun round gets underway here. If they can win that, Complexity are in a lot of strife. I mean, this round, it's just a pistol round. They're not going to expect or do too much, I would think. Just try and get a gun, maybe save that if they can, or just do damage, really. But right now, this is all NRG. After the last map, not what I would have expected, but this entire thing is just being driven by NRG right now.
Certainly is. Certainly is. Complexity, their struggles are very, very real here on Cobblestone. Obviously, with just a pistol buy, this one should be 13-5, and well, that's when you start to really get a bit worried here for Complexity that they're going to be losing this round, this map. And like we said, I mean, we thought this was going to be a relatively even matchup, so a 1-1 would not be a surprise at all.
But the nature in which we see that 1-1 is interesting. I mean, we would have thought, you know, if we're going to have an even matchup, we'll see 2 sort of high 20s in number of rounds. Now, we've seen 2 pretty uneven games so far. I mean, 10-5 is better than the 11-4 we had on Nuke, but already NRG pressing their advantage, just as we saw Complexity do last map. We might get 2 pretty dominating scorelines here. Potentially.
NRG certainly setting themselves up for something like that at the moment. Android has spotted out Daps, and he's got a bit of backup as well. Poor old Daps is going to have to deal with 3 players rushing at him with pistols. Not going to work out too nicely for him, but in the meanwhile, the rest of NRG have managed to gain control of the B-bomb site. So you'd have to think, even though Complexity have found a couple of kills in this round, they've picked up a gun or 2, but you know, it's still a difficult situation for them here, trying to retake this B-bomb site without any utilities, without a kit. I think NRG should probably have this one on lockdown.
Absolutely. I mean, they are going for this to try and do some more damage, but Fugly just sprang away, getting himself to Uber. Tried to take that fight with the AK. No, has realized it's not worth it. He's going to be running away and saving that thing. And Def, with the UMP, perhaps not as important for him to hold on to this one as they should be buying in the next round. He'll just be looking to do some damage on the way out, if at all he can. Does have Fugly coming towards him. If he can kill Fugly, he can get a gun. Right, there's an AK for him. There's actually no one else on this bomb site. If he had a kit, he could defuse this right now. Unfortunately, he does not. But he will be able to stay alive. Bradley gets enough away from this bomb with that AK-47, and that's a nice round out of Complexity. I mean, yes, at some point you have to win rounds, especially when you're down 13-5, but a complete eco to come out with 2 AKs is good.
Yeah, definitely probably better than what they might have expected to come out of it with. But as you say, the rounds are the important thing here for Complexity. NRG really looking good here on Cobblestone, and Complexity are just struggling a little bit. So they are going to get a pretty decent buy into this one. Android taking away the Mag 7, probably, you'd expect probably holding the drop room with that one. NRG have been heading over towards the B side pretty much all the time so far on the T side, so I can expect to see them heading in that direction again, trying to work that area of the map and then seeing what can maybe come of it later on down the track.
As you predicted earlier, we do have Android with that Mag 7 holding the drop position. It's a nice spot for a shotgun. It's one of the few places on coBLE that really works. It's really made with shotguns in mind, I suppose. It's very easy to have a big effect with them there. As a lot of the rest of this map is more long range, so it's harder to find those nooks. You can tuck yourself in with a shotgun and wait for a T to run into you, but he's still going to have them jump on his head, and he's going to have to hit the shots as well. He's just playing around drop here, not actually waiting underneath it. He's waiting for them to run around the corner, but still a very nice close range fight for him. He's got this pop flash ready to go if these T's should decide to push it, but it's just going to be Daps throwing the basic drop denial nades to stop any CTs from being under there so they can at least get down safely. But there's still a lot of CTs towards this B site. If NRG do decide to commit, nice shot, Fugly obliterates Desi. Android now flashing himself through as a player behind him. He hasn't spotted. We'll take out one and get the second as well. That's what we needed to see in the drop with that shotgun. Android finding 2, which means now Breezy, Peter, and Marquis have to somehow pick up the pieces of this round.
Yeah, and, well, they need to find it pretty quickly because they've only got 30 seconds left on the clock as well. There's Molotovs coming in their direction. There's still a decent amount of utility here for Complexity, a couple of flashbangs, a grenade, so they can definitely stall things out. And NRG, they do find the first kill of this sort of late round situation. Breezy and actually Marky finding a kill there as well. It's Android to trade one back, and it's a 2v2, but with only 15 seconds left on the clock, this is a difficult situation for NRG.
It is. They need to get on the bomb site and start putting that bomb down, well, pretty much now, and both the CTs are holding the crossbar onto the site, and they will find one Peter with a nice shot to answer back, but I'm not sure he's got enough time to plant the bomb. He doesn't. This round going to be going to Complexity barely. There was half a second in that bomb plant at most, but Complexity will manage to win it. Both players there content to sit out and save their guns, and now we're going to have a pause coming in here.
Yeah, pause indeed. What I'm told is one of the players on NRG, their headset has stopped working. So, you know, that's always not too great considering how important sound is.
Important in Counter-Strike, you know.
So maybe that could have been potentially something that influenced that round there. Maybe NRG, you know, if that headset was working, you know, it was so close. It was 1 versus 1. Maybe the little things could have gone their way.
I mean, potentially, if it was Peter's headset, if his isn't working, then they're saying, hey, man, we've got 10 seconds. You need to go and plant. If his headset isn't working, then, you know, of course, he doesn't know he has to plant. Maybe he hasn't noticed the clock. Of course, we can only theorize because we don't know what's happened there. But hopefully that one won't take too long to fix.
No, apparently it's a relatively short pause, so we shouldn't be here too much longer. But I still think NRG is looking pretty good here in the second half. I think they're probably ready to close this one out relatively shortly, despite dropping a couple of rounds now to Complexity.
Yeah, they're certainly looking much better on Cobblestone than they have on, well, than they did on Nuke, I guess. They're looking stronger. They're playing together as a team a bit more. They're all fragging, and they're looking good. So hopefully for them, they'll be able to close this one out and we'll have a 1-1 in this series.
It's definitely looking like a bit of a different team on both sides. I mean, NRG is looking so much better here, and Complexity is not quite hitting their shots. A lot of the aim duels are going the way of NRG, where on coBLE, they were going the way of Complexity. Sorry, not on coBLE. On Nuke, they were going the way of coBLE. So they were going the way of Complexity. I haven't eaten since 8 AM, so I think so a little bit touchy at the moment. But for now, NRG getting back into this one. 13 on the board. They are looking very good to close this one out. Not in this round, perhaps, unless Peter can maybe come up big with that AWP, but we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. I mean, even if Complexity can win this one, which realistically they should, there's still a long way back. There's a long road to recovery for them to get back into this one. So they've got to be in a pretty good place right now. Like, yes, maybe this round they don't have the advantage. Sure, Peter has the AWP. They don't have a lot of other guns to back it up. But they do have a massive round lead that they can work with here. Here comes the executing on the B side. Actually, this T's already streaming into the site. Well, there we go. HUD will come back there as the T's get in. A couple frags come on through, getting in towards this site. They can put the bomb down. Now, this is looking a lot better for NRG than perhaps it should.
Yeah, I like this setup really from NRG. Getting those pistols in the close range. They've got Peter sat up on the platform there. Just with that, sniping down the entire long range angles that he can get. But definitely a decent setup here from NRG. If they can make use of the advantages of their weapons, they can find the win here. They've picked up a couple of guns as well, and this is really not looking good for Complexity as well. At least they're able to find one there onto Breezy, but now it's a 2 versus 1. Def in a clutch situation. He's got so many angles to watch. Peter misses the shot, and that allows him to pick up the kill onto Fugly. And now 1v1. Peter needs to hit this shot, and he does. It's the round for NRG in a pretty clutch situation, but all things considered, I mean, NRG probably shouldn't have won that round to begin with. Complexity back again on the pistol buy. This is going to be 15 on the board for NRG.
They had no business winning that round at all. I believe it was an AWP, a Galil, a MAC-10, and a couple of pistols. That in no way should beat, you know, a full buy. Of course, this is Counter-Strike. Anyone can win. More specifically, this is the classic NACS where everyone can win. So it's good to see that NRG still has fighting spirit in them. But for Complexity, that's got to be pretty crushing.
Yeah, definitely. And just the pistols and armor here for Complexity to work with now. So yeah, things are looking a little bit grim for them, I think is a fair way of putting it. NRG definitely with the advantage. And Uber getting tagged up as well. 17 HP on him. Complexity really in a bit of a hole right now they need to climb out of.
And it's not going to be easy for them. But I like this. They're boosting Def up into drop with that CZ. There is a lot of players on the other side. Actually catches out Fugly on the jump. Does 50 damage to him. That's a nice start. Unfortunately, I think he was maybe hoping to actually be able to sneak into drop a little bit rather than just jumping up and instantly having to fall back down after being discovered. But damage done is damage done. And that's what they need with these pistols. They need every player low so they can finish off the kills. That said, though, there's still 5 NRG players in this server. There's also 5 Complexity players in this server, but NRG looking much better off in terms of both the buy, the strategy, the momentum. Really, everything is going their way right now.
Definitely. And you can see NRG starting to push up a little bit here as well, gaining a little bit of map control. Surreal might have spotted out Breezy there, and he's just going to hightail it all the way back in towards the A-bomb site. Def has a big role to play, needs to find a kill here, but he won't manage to do that. Did get a lot of damage across, so maybe someone else on Complexity can clean that up. Surreal does find one, Android finding another, but I just think there's too much gone here for Complexity. NRG have got the map control, they've got the kills that they need. Oh, Android's going to need to come up big. Peter, though, is going to shut him down, and it'll be 15 on the board now for NRG.
And Complexity here, not looking like they had too much to do there. I mean, they had a couple of frags on the board. Surreal managed to get that nice, I believe it was Surreal, got that nice quick shot as they came around the corner on him. But he got too greedy going for the AK on the ground. Wanted that, didn't realize there was another player, and coming around with the AWP, Peter just took his head off. So that was really, I think, the only chance they had of getting another frag that they didn't get in that round. Maybe he could have got that kill, picked up the AK, then done some damage, but unfortunately for him, went for the AK just a fraction early. Not that he could have known that, of course. And now, there's so much damage being done there. Desi, 20 HP after stepping into the spray of Marquis. It's not looking good here for Complexity to do this one. Only pistols. They do have some armor as well, but it's really...
Well, it's very much the same situation as last round, isn't it? And we saw how that went. NRG with a pretty comfortable win in that one. I mean, maybe things got a little bit out of hand towards the end there, but it still felt like they were going to be able to pull off that round. And I mean, given the start that they've had into this one, 20 HP on Desi, I think NRG are in a pretty good spot to close it out here, 16-6.
Absolutely. And even if they do somehow manage to lose this round, NRG, they've got so much time to play with as well. If they lose this one, they've got a further 8 match points to play with here to take the win against Complexity. So I think really, even if Complexity do win this one, it's going to be a case of just stalling the inevitable rather than making the comeback happen. But I've been wrong before, and I could be surprised again. Complexity going to see what they can do in this one, as NRG are taking it really slowly here. We've had, you know, a minute go by, and really we've only had damage exchange, not a lot else.
No, not too much. 45 seconds left on the clock now, and NRG will have to start to make a move. It does seem like they're heading in the direction of the A-bomb site, so they've kind of figured out that Complexity have kind of got a bit of a stack over towards the A-bomb site. Breezy will take down Surreal. That's early information for Complexity, but at the cost of one of their players. It's obviously not what they would have wanted. Desi is trying to find something with the Deagle, and he does. Now, can he find anything else? Yes, he can. Another head goes away. It's Fugly at that time getting picked up, but on the board is Uber, 1 versus 1. 14 seconds left. How long is it going to take Peter to run over to this B bomb site and get the bomb down? He should have just enough time, and that's going to cause Uber to have to come in here and deal with an AWP.
Now, I thought Uber spotted him on the rotate there, but maybe not. And Uber could potentially walk straight into the AWP of Peter. He's ready for this. The timing could be so close. Throws the flash, to deny Uber vision. But this one is just going to have to be so well played by Uber. He needs to win this one to keep his team alive in this matchup. He might actually find the angle on Peter here. Peter is stuck behind the box, actually peeks out. Now Peter knows where Uber is. Not going to be easy. Smoke on the bomb. Uber touches the bomb, moving out of cover now. Now he's fighting with Peter, and Peter knows he just has to hide here. Going for the engagement. The spray comes through, and Peter will close it out. Cobblestone 16-6.
Three kills there for Peter in that last round. A nice final one, just dancing up and down on the stairs, making life a bit difficult for the clutch. But in the end, he pulls it off, and well, pretty good result for NRG there on Cobblestone after dropping Nuke. 16-6 is quite a good score.
Absolutely, they definitely came back into that one. They looked much stronger on the way through, I suppose. They had their 10-5 first half. They got that advantage, and really, they never really lost it. They just kept on pushing through.
Alrighty, well, let's have a look at how things have gone throughout today. We've seen some fairly standard results there by the looks of things. 15-5, I wonder if that's actually 16-5 for okay, apparently it's still live for SK, but they should be closing that one out 2-0. Cloud9 closing their games out 2-0, and over on our stream we did see Optic with their own 2-0, and then a 1-1 between NRG and Complexity. So I think things pretty much went the way we would have expected today.
Yeah, essentially. It's nice to see the Brazilian matchup going on, although SK winning it over on the mainstream with SK versus Immortals. Of course, the Brazilian teams playing against each other. It's like it's a pride matchup, that one.
Yep.
But, you know, it's been some great games today.
Definitely has been some great games. Looking forward to tomorrow as well. We're back tomorrow and on Friday. So, well, Friday for us, Thursday for America. So, should be a pretty good week here of Counter-Strike on the B stream of the ESL Pro League North American Division. We are going to go and say goodbye for now. That's all of us, all done for today. But we will be back tomorrow, as I mentioned, at the same time as today. Until then, have a good one.